In the heart of the wilderness, a lone hiker embraced the allure of the great outdoors. A fervent lover of Mother Nature, he'd always found the wild to be a sanctuary. The mountains sang to him, the trees whispered tales of old, and the breeze carried the scent of a world untouched by human hands. On this day, he chose to venture alone, to feel the raw connection between man and nature, unfiltered by the chatter of companionship. The day rolled on as he navigated through the dense foliage and winding trails. An 8-hour hike, he thought, would be enough to satiate his thirst for the wild. As the sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the hiker decided it was time to return. But as he retraced his steps, the once familiar trail seemed unfamiliar. A creeping unease slithered into his heart. He was lost. As darkness fell, his predicament became more dire. His flashlight was his only beacon in the consuming blackness, its battery life dwindling with every passing minute. Panic was an insidious whisper in his ear, but he pushed it aside. He had to find shelter, and fast. Almost as if guided by some unseen force, he stumbled upon a dilapidated cabin. Its time-worn appearance suggested years of neglect, yet it offered a glimmer of hope in his dire predicament. Knocking on the door and receiving no response, he hesitantly stepped inside. The sight that greeted him was unexpected. A single bed, seemingly untouched by time, stood in the center of the room. Surrounding him were paintings, portraits of people whose eyes seemed to follow him around the room. Their smiles, eerily unnerving, sent a chill down his spine. Yet exhaustion won over fear, and he succumbed to the call of sleep, the painted faces his silent sentinels in the night. As dawn broke, he awoke to a startling revelation. The room was devoid of any paintings. Instead, he found himself staring into windows. The portraits from the night before were not mere figments of an artist's imagination. They were windows. A horrifying truth unfolded before his eyes. The chilling smiles he'd seen were not from painted faces, but from the eyes that had been watching him through the windows all night. The cabin was not deserted, and he was not alone.